Welcome along to the shoutiest segment on a multitude of Irish platforms. It's the scintillating, splendido, stupefying, crappy quiz. Every week we pit three of Team Off the Ball up against each other in our Quiz of Sporting Factoids, no holds barred at the end of the week. I mean, you know. Allow me to welcome tonight's contestants. That wasn't bad, was it?
That was good,
Did you get the intro right?
Yeah.
That is honestly the first time ever.
Well done.
We
I can see the
dropped-
stress in
It's
his
almost
face
like as
now.
if you had a rehearsal.
We dropped the no holds barred because, it was a little bit...
You've been saying it for 5 years, though.
Yeah, but why would you learn something when it's written down in front of you? There's other things that you can learn.
True.
This
It
is
doesn't have to
emotional
be at the
intelligence.
expense of something else. It's
Exactly. Well, it is at this stage, Owen.
Owen.
Hey, allow me to welcome tonight's contestants. It's CTE. Our first contestant tonight is no longer a junior footballer, but an intermediate one, and has represented that in his life choices. He now shops at Dunn's rather than Pennies. He drinks cans of Tuborg instead of Dutch Gold, and only drives Nissans instead of Fiats. Next year, he'll be an M&S, a Heineken, and a Merckman when he goes senior. Give it up for the Meath Hillbilly, Tommy Rooney!
Hi, lads.
senior next year.
Has the draw been made for championship yet?
No, it's not for a couple of weeks.
Has Andy McEntee been on to you?
No, not yet.
Did you pass
Do
the
you know-
driving test?
Do you know what he hopes? Now, Nathan. Don't be...
Tommy's
There's no
Tommy,
need
your
for you to be
problem
I
is-
did, actually.
Good.
Did you?
Thanks, yeah.
Sorry, the listeners
Tommy, your
were
problem is
wondering
you've got a
it.
long list of things you
Nathan
want to
turned
talk
around
about.
to me there while we were off air and goes, I think Mayo are going to win the All-Ireland this year. Dublin are in disarray.
Okay, shut up you for a second. The most important thing about all this is that the new rule changes, in the new rule changes, there is a call for lanky lads who might be able to catch the ball on the edge of the square.
Right.
Now, so it's not this year.
Well, at least he fulfills the lanky lad part
It's
of
not
it.
this year. It's going to be next year. It's going to be 2020. He's got 2020 vision.
That is what I said. That is
So
what
if
I
Andy
said.
McEntee wanted to take you in on a long-term project sort of role,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Bulk
the way to
you
do
up.
it.
Point
But
you
it all
up in the
depends. It
appropriate
all
areas.
depends on whether it passes at Congress and is brought in for next year.
What age are you now?
25.
Yeah.
My inter-county future depends on Congress. That's it, lads.
You should be out there. You should
lobbying
be
for
out
it,
there.
yeah.
Exactly.
Lobbying, I really
Yeah.
should.
You like doing items on OTBA.
I was going to say,
Every day.
you literally produced the show. You
The
could.
offensive mark is the best
I
thing
think
that's ever
this
happened in the
is
history of Gaelic football.
important.
Definitely.
Anyway, in the middle seat is a man who's got so excited about something lately that he actually developed a stammer this week. He arrived into the office yesterday and was about to announce something. He said, and then left the room. Later he came back, but all he could manage was but he couldn't quite get that sentence out. Finally, today, he arrived into the office dressed head to toe in green and red and exploding like the Incredible Hulk. He screamed, "Melba Sam!"
Stand up and show us your pants there. They're red.
A 100% start to this year's National League means he's beastlier than ever. It's the beast of Ballyhonest. Nathan, Bobby! The red pants, I've just realised, you do have a green jumper.
He does.
It's not an accidental thing.
This looks kind of green with the cameras at the moment. The hue of the...
I have
Why
a
are
green
you
jumper
telling
as well.
people so many? I was in here during the week. Kieran Donahue joined us during the week, and he was in
a
doing
private
photo
conversation.
shoot. And I just wandered into the room, and next thing, here's your man in Donnie's ear going, Mayo are going to win the All Ireland this year.
He's getting way too excited.
Christ. Like you leave him in a room for a minute.
I'm trying to keep the confidence of our players, make sure they're at a good level, that they believe.
Has that not been?
It is looking good, though. It is looking
Early
good.
days.
It is looking good.
It's looking great.
early
2
days.
rounds
It's
into the
looking
league.
Let's win the league first.
And
Why
how's
do you
that?
want to win the league?
How's that prediction that Liverpool were going to coast to the league title working out for you?
How's it working for you?
For me?
Hold on a second. Why would you want to win the league?
Win everything.
No. There's only one thing that Mayo needs to win.
Absolutely.
2 rounds into the league, won a game was an absolute write-off, so you can't judge anything on it.
So what?
I wouldn't
And
get too
also,
carried away.
Dublin aren't even trying.
And they've got Dermo back, so
Dermo back,
Dermot-
yeah.
Well, we'll
Dermot.
see.
Maybe we could get Jason Sherlock in.
We'll see.
Well, we don't know if Dermo's back.
We don't.
Yeah, he's back.
I don't know now.
Hasn't played
He's
top
back
level football
until
in
he's not
years.
back, and then we can build another show around that.
Yeah,
So
but-
let's not worry.
You wouldn't know what he's playing.
Anyway, to all of you watching, it is a little bit trippy.
Club football.
That's on purpose. Our final contestant tonight has had such a sheltered upbringing in the Midlands, away from the sea, that he initially thought Titanic was a science fiction movie. He had his first taste of fish at the age of 39, and the first time he saw a real boat was when the Viking Splash Tour took an accidental spin down to Athlone. It's the Mullingar magician, Adrian. Who's your daddy Barry?
Not from Mullingar. I've actually never had fish, so that's a lie.
Are you allergic to fish?
yeah.
You never had fish?
Fish and peanuts.
I have had fish once, and I didn't expect it to be fish, and I ended up going to the hospital.
What did
Oh,
you
really?
expect
You're
it to
actually
be?
allergic?
Chicken.
They look the same.
They didn't taste the same, I can tell you that. And I've been on the Viking Splash Tour and can highly recommend it.
Can you rub fish on your body to try?
I haven't tried that, but I mean, it sounds like something I might do this weekend. It's
Can I just question your wisdom in going on the Viking Splash Tour
you're allergic
and
to
entering water?
Now, think about that for a second.
What if?
What if it sank
Think
and you
about
could
that
only
for a
survive living underwater?
What if the fish
Atlantis.
rubbed up close to you?
I might just,
No.
I mean,
I've never actually heard of someone allergic to fish. Is it like, what is it that you're allergic to?
the thing I'm most allergic to is cod.
So you can't have cod liver oil tablets?
God.
I think I
probably
have
could.
had cod liver oil tablets, actually.
And what happens? I know you're about
Cod
to
liver oil
hospital,
is
but what
fine.
happens?
As far as I know.
Brain damage, don't tell him.
Cod, I had cod in my mouth, realised it was cod, spat it out, and the child in the corner here, and I said I had to go to hospital.
Really?
Just without swallowing.
Yeah.
So you had a reaction, a seizure. What happened?
No seizures, but no, just my throat started to swell up, and so you get to a point where
That
you're
sounds
like,
bad.
is this going to continue to swell up to the point where I'm going to die, or has it reached its
That sounds very
nebulous?
traumatic.
So,
Yeah, wow.
but I mean, I'm glad that you find it entertaining, Nathan. Anyway,
I
that's
was going to
really
ask
the
him
main
to put
thing.
nuts in his mouth.
You can't have fish and chips.
Where are you with nuts?
I mean, I can't have fish and chips, Sammy, no.
Where are you with nuts?
I'm also allergic to many nuts.
Jesus.
As ever, the format is the classic crappy quiz with
Very
lots of
good.
innuendo, 4 rounds, 4
Great,
questions
yeah.
each. And at the end of that, we
What's in
take
your
you
mouth,
to the trivia equivalent of
Anytime.
taking every game as it comes. Shut up. AKA the rapid fire round. You can podcast the crappy quiz on iTunes, Stitcher, or better still on offtheball.com, our shiny new website where we stream everything live. And you can just click the listen live button and you can go about the rest of your business. And our dulcet tones will lull you to sleep in the background. Give us 5 out of 5, even if that does not represent your actual opinion. Please send any questions you have via postcard or indeed by envelope to the Crappy Quiz Quizmaster off the wall towers, Marconi House, Diggs Lane, Dublin 2. We did get post this week. In fact, we got multiple correspondences. It's almost like after 5 years, this thing has become an overnight success.
What?
Wow.
It's probably 7 years, is it? Could be.
No,
Were they all
Round
from
one.
the same person?
Round
13,
one. No, loads of different people.
4 or 5 years.
Round 1 is the boring question round, never multiple choice. I'm going to do round 1 from the big envelope.
Okay.
Make sure to ask about different sports, and I have to read the letter in the little silver envelope. So, an
Come
envelope,
from abroad. It seems
an
like
envelope
very,
within an envelope.
Pretty
I
cool.
think they...
like registered post.
No, large underpaid postage.
Brilliant.
You cheap bastards.
So did we have to pay for the extra
This
postage?
underpaid item was was open to obtain a return address. Ah, come on. We would have paid for it. You know we would have paid for it.
So what
Come on,
happened?
on post.
How did it get here?
Yeah.
They must have delivered it anyway.
Fair play.
When they saw, somebody in Marconi House.
Unless they wrote to the people who sent it and said, "Here, send us on 30 cents." You
No, they didn't. They didn't. Because it's only been stamped
cost
once.
50 cents.
Okay, so, I mean, it's a euro. You can't send an A4 envelope with a euro. Jesus. Or whatever a national stamp is. They don't put the money on it anymore because it might be more than that and there'd be riots.
Well,
But
they
anyway,
need to charge more because people aren't sending letters anymore. That's-
dear OTB, I hope you enjoyed the quiz that I've put together over the course of a few days. My name is Jason Shanahan. You may remember me as the guy who told Johnny Ward that if I was in a plane about to crash and I had 2 parachutes, I'd give Johnny Ward both.
Wow.
If not, please find attached a link to the video and when it occurred. 2248. Keep up the good work and best wishes.
Can I ask a question?
Jason Shanahan. You're as cool as a cucumber. Happy birthday is the card, and it's a little dog with 2 cucumbers on its eyes.
Oh.
See that? You can, yeah.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's great.
Please find attached a link to the video.
You can probably just type in hyperlink.
Written on a... I mean, how does that work?
What the...
Look at this.
This is more professional than anything
Wow.
that we've
the
ever done in our
Quizmaster
lives.
has
I mean,
actually put together.
this is not crappy.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So off
This
the
guy
ball,
should get a job
That's our
here.
logo for the
Who's
radio
that
listeners.
going?
It has multiple pages with, I would say, the first staple in the history of this studio, keeping everything attached.
2 staples because the first one wasn't exactly where it should have been.
and crappy quiz. So do round 1 from the big envelope. Make sure to ask about different sports. Round 1.
Excited.
So am I.
Round 1. Make sure you ask questions about different sports so you keep all demographics happy around. I mean, this guy's got a future.
What's his name?
Jason.
Shanahan. Don't know where you're from, Jason. Don't know what you did to Johnny Ward or what Johnny did for you, but I am intrigued. Tommy, this February marks the 20th edition of the Six Nations. Who won the first Grand Slam of the Six Nations era?
England.
France?
France is correct.
Damn it.
Any idea roughly?
2001.
2002. Merceron
I mean,
was the top point scorer.
Fair play to them.
Scored 80, 75 of which from the boot.
you see, that's why he had to spend a couple of days at it, adding in those bits of ridiculous, needless information.
Important sports trivia that everybody's actually...
It's actually good to know.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Come on. I mean,
If you
obviously,
can't remember the intro, you've forgotten that by then. We get
there's no
into the
room.
quiz.
I'm going to remember. This is exactly why I don't remember the intro.
That bit's got in.
Come on, guys.
First round,
Fair enough,
2002, 75 points, 1 try, top scorer, first Grand Slam with it. Nathan, in late January, Stephen Kenny released a 21-man Republic of Ireland under-21 home-based squad. How many of those ply their trade in the Northern Irish Football League?
That's actually pretty easy. It's actually pretty easy.
Well, I
It's a
mean,
pretty
it was
obvious
only a
answer.
Leading football
Jason,
correspondent.
you tried to be fair
I was
and you weren't.
literally at the press conference.
Did you not go to the game in Whitehall, though? You couldn't be arsed, could you?
No, Liverpool were playing that night, weren't they? All right.
No. I was at home minding my children.
Come on, have you got an answer? If you don't know it, you don't
Said you
know
were
it. Just
playing.
say something.
It wasn't on TV. It's either 1 or 2. I'm going to go for 2.
There is two.
Correct.
It's the striker, dealing left from Dundalk. Just gone up north.
Playing for
Michael
who?
O'Connor.
Michael O'Connor and
Michael O'Connor plays for who?
Linfield, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Fair play to
He
him.
moved a few months ago.
Adrian.
Who's second? Does Jason have that information?
Ronan
there?
Hale of Crusaders and Michael
yeah.
O'Connor of Linfield. So fair play to Ronan and Michael.
Ronan Hale.
Adrian.
He was in Villa, wasn't he?
Okay, lads, shut up. Adrian, who will England face in the semi-final of the UEFA Nations League, your favourite tournament, this June?
How did I get a question from 20 years ago?
Well, can I just say that that is a totally inequitable question compared to what these two plonkers have got.
It's actually
taking
a
the
very
piss?
easy
No.
question. What are you talking
Yours
about?
is going to be a low number of players, clearly.
Yours is the
Yours is
easiest.
going to be like one of 5 teams.
Right, and yours is one of 2.
4.
I don't know who the other
One of
3
3.
teams are. So.
But it's very
your
easy.
problem.
It's not Gibraltar.
Belgium.
No, it's.
Switzerland.
He said Belgium. Yeah, what did you say?
I thought it was Croatia.
No.
Croatia, no?
All these smart asses. Look at this.
Netherlands.
It's not proof that it was a bloody difficult. No, 'cause you didn't
Switzerland.
know it. You didn't know it.
I knew Switzerland were in the
If you didn't know it, how the
semi-finals.
hell am I supposed to know it?
This has been
Switzerland,
crap.
Netherlands, and Portugal.
You got the easiest question out
Four?
random, you know it.
Wow. Okay, good man, Jason. A 0-all.
I hope the rounds-
0-0 draw. Oh, no,
Nathan
sorry.
got it right.
Oh!
0-1-0. Nathan leads.
It's at the heart.
Like in the league.
Tommy's on 0.
That was easy.
Adrian Barry's on 0. Okay, let's go. Round 2, the Champions League round. The knockout stages of the biggest football club competition in the world are finally upon us, with it being extra interesting this year thanks to Real Madrid's form practically falling off a cliff. That's what it says here. This round will test your knowledge of the Champions League from its humble beginnings to its present day.
I wasn't even born.
Tommy, 7 nations will be represented in the last 16 of the Champions League. Which of the 7 is the lowest ranked on the UEFA country coefficients for their respective top-flight leagues?
It's obvious.
It'd be obvious if we could remember them.
It's obvious, isn't it?
Portugal?
Netherlands.
Ajax.
Correct?
Yeah, so obvious, like.
That was obvious. I forgot Ajax were playing.
Okay, question 2 for you, Nathan.
That was bad.
The European Cup started back in the 1955-56 season and was won by Real Madrid. We all know that. But who were the first team not called Real Madrid to win the competition?
Oh, so Real Madrid won, 5 in a row to start it
I
off?
love the way he always gives this out bullshit information that he has off the top of his head. Answer the question.
What country are you thinking?
I'm thinking that most definitely Benfica won it a couple of times around then. I'm going to go Benfica.
Boom! Not the old bullshit information, turns out.
No, it was.
The
It
inner
was just
workings of a logical brain,
roughly
Adrian,
guess
I just
the
said
answer.
which I know you're jealous of.
You know.
Question 2 for you, Adrian, to get you back in the game.
Let's go.
Limerick man Des Kennedy scored a goal in each leg when Limerick United beat Real Madrid in the first round of the 1980-81 European Cup.
Already bullshit.
How many goals did Real concede in the entire tournament that year?
Off it. This is stupid.
Did he know Adrian was going to be playing?
Bullshit. This is bullshit.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question, right?
Give me a multiple choice on this. This is
I
ridiculous.
will not. I'm going to repeat the question because it's an interesting bit of Irish football history that I'm sure people are listening at home going, oh, isn't this now?
It's a very interesting fact, not to be included in a quiz where somebody else got two.
Did you
other
hear
people
the
got
fact
like
even?
No.
Exactly.
Des Kennedy scored a couple of goals and he's from Limerick and everybody's happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So listen to it.
Against who?
Real Madrid.
Right. Over 2 legs. Right? Limerick played Real Madrid in the 80-81 European Cup. A game I don't know anything about, which we should rectify, right? It sounds like a great story. Because
Yeah.
it's Real
That would be
Madrid
a quiz.
in 80-81, and I don't know what the scores were, but he scored a goal in each leg. How many goals did Real concede in the entire tournament that year, including the 2 that you know about from Des Kennedy?
I mean, it's obviously, I mean, the answer is possibly 2, but the answer is possibly 2, I think, but I mean...
I wouldn't go with your gut.
Is that your answer? Final answer?
I'm just saying it's possibly 2 as I work through the possible connotations.
Okay, the one hint is that they reached the final.
Yeah, so it's more than 2 is what you're saying.
But not many more than 2.
That's what I'm thinking, Tommy,
Yeah.
I'm going to say 3.
Oh, so close, it was 4!
I really have a strong temptation to use the F word now. That was honestly...
You would have been correct.
Look at the 2 rounds, Ger, and say equitably, was I treated fairly?
Where did you get this
Graziano
word
Bini
equitable from?
of Inter Milan.
Am I right, though?
I'll have to Google
Alan
equitable.
Kennedy of Liverpool in the final.
Yeah.
Do you remember that final?
Well, I was not born.
No, he'll give you some other nonsense information about Alan Kennedy.
Who wins that final, 81?
Liverpool beat them in the final 1-0.
That their first? No.
No.
It's their
Third out of 4.
78, 81, 85.
This is a shambles.
84, sorry.
Still in the league, Adrian.
Round
Still
three,
only in the league.
shambles. Oh,
Still
we
only in the
round three
league.
missed?
I haven't even got to
Round
yet.
3. Okay, so round 3 to the postcard. Look, more posts.
that
Owen
what you said?
Sheehan did no work for this entire week.
So hang on a second.
Jason just did 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Well, come off
he
it.
did a whole thing, but the other ones we might come back
They're
to them.
weird, aren't they? In the future. Like the last one I got asked.
No,
That was a great question.
But that was same as mine.
It was
In
not
the
the
first
same
round.
as yours.
You know it's going to be a low number. You just have to get it.
Yeah, fair enough. So what's the score?
Absolute bullshit.
Are you on 1? Did you get 1?
I'm on 0.
No, you...
I've had a
0,
poor
2,
start.
0. Is that right? Nathan got 2 out of 2.
I think I much prefer the snappy quiz that we do on Snapchat.
Well, I was just about to say...
2 weeks in a row.
Adrian won it.
I won 2 weeks in a row.
But Adrian won this week. Oh, it's not out yet.
Check
it out on
I wasn't even in it,
Snapchat.
so it doesn't count.
Anyway,
I won it.
we do a snappy quiz, a version of the crappy quiz. It's on Snapchat. Get on Snapchat. Follow us on Snapchat. How?
You know where your stories are on Snapchat? You swipe right. You can just search for Off the Boulder.
Right.
All over that.
There it goes.
Okay, so the 5 and 6 Nations quiz from Ray Ronan. Come on, Ray. I like your all caps scribble. It's good. May take me a minute.
Do we
or
not
two
just
to
have a
decipher.
5 and 6 Nations
Yeah,
round?
is there no GA questions here?
This round was sent in by listener Ray Ronan. It's a Limerick postcard. Who's that dude in the front of Limerick?
There's Kennedy's statue in Limerick.
After the 2 goals against...
That's King John, I'd say.
It's King John, yeah?
King John's Castle.
What's the story with King John?
He has a castle in
There's a
Limerick.
castle in Athlone as well.
Does he, yeah? When was he the king?
Well, he was pillaging and doing other things, wasn't he, around...
A good lad, or one of those people who we should revisit the statues of, like the Confederates?
We should go down to Limerick and do a show around King John and Des Kennedy.
You could do that Saddam... Remember they pulled down the Saddam Hussein statue? You could do the same thing with King John.
I mean, there's probably Limerick people who want to pull you down after... hey. After that. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. So,
We'll
come
look
on,
up
right.
King John, right?
Brian O'Driscoll scored 2 hat-tricks in the 6 Nations, 1 versus France. Name the other team. Tommy.
Yeah. Name the other team. France and Scotland.
Correct.
Thank you.
Jesus. The obvious answer there would have been Italy, right?
Yeah, but come on.
Okay.
He was the brother of Richard the Lionheart.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a Brit.
Associated with legends such as Robin Hood and the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh, that King John.
Oh, that he was not a good person.
Associated with them doesn't necessarily mean that he was...
Well, he saves
thought-
Robin Hood in the end, does he?
I thought
And
Robin
the dodgy-
Hood was a...
But he was good behind it all, wasn't he?
Who?
Robin Hood.
He's a good guy. Stole from the rich, gave to the poor. What are you talking
Was
about?
there not a darker side to Robin Hood?
I like.
What are you reading?
King John doesn't even have his own Wikipedia page.
We can rectify that right now.
He'd be turning and spinning his grave.
Adrian's delighted. You can set one up. Okay, round 2. Question 2, sorry, for you, Nathan. Name the last team to win back-to-back Grand Slams. Or has it ever been done?
France.
Good knowledge.
798.
Hey, whoa, he's on fire.
Rugby man.
Looking
was the
this up
story
during
that?
the week,
Did
obviously.
you
What
do a
was the
corporate
story?
gig on
Great
France
stuff.
this week or something?
What was the story? Yeah, what was the
He
story?
loves a bit of
Tell me, yeah, come
extra
on. How
story.
did you get that? Because, I mean, we all know you know.
Did anyone hear Nathan's news in the office yesterday at about 12 o'clock? He was like,
About Mayo winning
lads,
Saturday."
I've heard that, Robbie Henshaw might be at the game.
His deep throat, I told
Yeah.
him. Don't tell everybody it's a dead leg, was Nathan was telling us.
The next thing, Joe Malloy walks in and goes, where did he hear that from?
I was trying to protect my source.
Well, you didn't.
Never see anything in the office, was what I learned.
Well, yeah, well, look
Okay.
at it. I've learned that lesson as well.
Okay,
driving
Adrian,
myself on
I don't know who the source was. Or did you just tell me?
Yeah, it was Joe Murray.
Oh, okay. Round 3. What year was the championship trophy introduced?
What
The
about
overall
Did Adrian
championship.
get a question?
Adrian.
Oh, sorry.
What championship? 5 Nations. What are we talking about? What's happening?
There's a trophy.
Where are we?
There's a trophy. There's a trophy now.
I know that.
But there wasn't always a trophy.
So the overall championship winner.
For the
Gets
Six
a trophy
Nations.
for whatever competition.
For what do you mean for whatever competition? Was it for the 5 Nations and 6 Nations? I need clarity on this.
The question, as it's written,
The championship.
this quiz is called. Shut up and listen for a second. But you're not going to be able to listen over the noise of you making the horse impressions. The 5 and 6 Nations quiz from Ray Ronan is the name of the competition. We've had a question about Brian O'Driscoll. We've had a question about the last team to win back-to-back Grand Slams. This question is, what year was the championship trophy introduced?
Going to say it happened in 2000.
Anybody know, Nathan, our rugby man?
Nah, let's
2001.
1993. 1993.
load of bollocks.
I mean,
I have
tricky
been
question.
shafted here
Yeah.
round after round.
Am I now on 3?
1,
Wow,
3,
I'm
0.
100% record.
Still
Okay,
only
round 4.
Still only in the league, pal.
Yeah. Adrian, you can get right back in it with the correct number here.
His question, again, compared to mine, I have to point it out, it's outrageous.
How? You didn't know the answer.
No, but hang on a second.
Come on.
Hang on a second.
It's gonna be half
we're
mine,
all
but they're not
hurtling
there.
towards our death.
No,
There's a
no.
limited number of years you
And
can
you
choose
guys
from.
are wasting up
my answer
precious
could have been
oxygen
1987.
on this
Like,
crap.
it could have been anything.
No,
Let's go.
here's
Let's go.
what happened.
No, we're all dying.
He
We're all
claims
dying
to
in
be
a
some
second.
sort of rugby man.
Each
I did not
second
grow up in a
of the
rugby
atomic
culture,
clock.
yet have educated myself to find out about the Six Nations, so I have these
No,
facts
you
at my
get
disposal.
easy questions. What
I
happens?
wish
Stop
the
making
Lord
straw
would
man
tell the
arguments.
answer.
Stop making straw man arguments.
Okay, let's go. Question 4, round 4. The Fun Free Magic number round. Contestants get 3 points for getting the number exactly right. If nobody manages that, the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points. We all know the rules at this point. The second closest gets a single point. Again, I'm going to state we can only accept the answer that's written on your paper. No bullshit from anybody. I'm also going to have to ask for your pens once the music ends. Some of the following questions were also included in listener Jason Shanahan's letter. Good man, Jason. If you don't mind, give us the following number. The number of points Joey Carberry scored in Kingsholm against Gloucester this year. Plus, the number of draws recorded by Arsenal during their Invincibles year. Plus, the number of points Manchester City won the Premier League by last season. Plus, the number of Super Bowls won by Peyton Manning. Your 30 seconds expires when Frank Sinatra sings Bright Shiny Beads.
Oh, I'm
Speed
going
it
over
up
here.
version.
I think I have to just play it safe because Adrian's out of the mix.
Do you? You're only one ahead of him. Joey Carberry points. Number of draws by Arsenal in the Invincibles year. Number of points Man City won the Premier League by last season. And the number of Super Bowls won by Peyton Manning. Okay. Everybody up? And the final number?
Bright shiny.
Okay. 36. 36.
50.
50.
Oh.
Not bust.
This is not what I added up, but I went for 42. I wrote down 42.
59 is the correct answer. So Nathan wins 2 more points.
I get 1, don't I?
He's on 5. Tommy's on 2. Adrian's on 0.
5-0.
Okay, the number of points Joey Carberry scored in Kingsholm against Gloucester.
25.
26 is the correct answer.
22.
Number of draws recorded by Arsenal during their Invincibles
10.
year.
7.
12. That's a lot of draws for a
That's
team who
five
are like,
then.
oh, we're the greatest team of all time. The number of points Man City won the Premier League by last season.
Is it 18 or something?
18.
19.
19.
And
12
Peyton Manning has 2 Super Bowls.
2.
Not 4 then.
No.
No.
Right.
No. Not 4.
Okay, the final
The answer
round.
is 59. Okay.
The round is separate.
Our winner tonight's going to be decided in the round that separates the men from the boys, the Brian Fentons from the Brian Cranstons. It's the no theme in particular, ridiculously easy rapid fire round. The score you get in this round is going to be added to your score in the previous round. There will be 40 seconds for everybody to answer from the same set of questions. You're going to start with the person with the highest number of points and onto the person second and onto the person in the last. I mean, we should really revisit that. So
Yeah,
that
it should
there's
work
a bit of
the other way
excitement. I think it probably should, just to add a bit of
Spice,
frisson.
spice bag.
I'm going to change it now on the fly.
What?
Good idea. Let's do it. Let's.
I mean, because you can ruin this by getting 3 questions right. Just
Yes.
it's over.
Check the
Yeah.
question.
And that is my reward for dominating the rest of the quiz.
No,
Otherwise, the
you
rest
didn't
of the
dominate the rest of the quiz. You got easier questions.
Otherwise, I would just not bother answering those questions, so I could go first in the rapid fire and get all them right.
Well,
and
that's
still
strategy.
Win.
The strategy.
JP
then,
says
right?
I can change it up right now.
Oh, bullshit.
That was my
Sorry,
strategy.
that's a load of
He's
bollocks.
decided, yeah.
No
No,
chance.
okay.
Super 8s. The
No
GA
chance.
can do what they want.
That was
We're
my
changing it up.
strategy.
Yeah, we've
Switch it.
decided on the fly.
No way!
He's the
Congress has
boss.
spoken.
He's the producer. He's the
Good
boss.
job.
He
I
runs the whole
heard
show.
this shit.
He
No
runs the whole
way.
show. Come on, let's
Listen, if you're going to
go.
No
bottle
way.
it now, if you're going to bottle it now.
Now, here we go.
What? It's
If
my
you get-
question.
if you get a-
It's
no,
me,
it's not.
Tommy,
It's
then
not.
you.
It's Adrian, Tommy, then Nathan.
How many points are we on?
You're on 0.
All right.
I'm on 2.
That's
I'm on
easy.
You are
fine.
going to win.
Yeah, you're still going to win it.
It's like
Let's see.
this is basically like 2 own goals to Adrian to start it off here.
Let's see.
If you get a question correct, I will ask you another question and keep asking questions until you get one wrong. As soon as you get one wrong, I move on to the next person. You get deducted a point. some of the following questions were also...
This is a lesser quiz.
I'd have walked out.
Jason Shanahan's letter. Look,
nearly did.
Well, I'm still going to win.
here's the thing, right? We can make changes on the fly. We're like a progressive organisation.
Yeah.
We don't need...
So there's lots
Fragile.
of better changes we could make than this.
We don't need 6 months of debate. We can just go, yeah, let's go. Come on,
He's just
I like it.
all he's doing is prevaricating. So we all
The
know.
NFL
at the
check
end of
parity,
the day,
exactly.
If you're not
he
happy,
loses-
walk out now.
If he loses,
Leave it between me and Adrian. No, you don't.
Win.
Walk out now if you want.
Your time starts with a Joe Malloy. If Pat Kenny knows this, you're a dead man.
If Pat Kenny knows this, you're a dead man.
What year did Mayo last win Sam Maguire?
1957.
1951. Who was the last Irish horse trainer to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup?
Willie Muns.
Jessica Harrington. Nathan, who was the top scorer in the 2018 League of Ireland Premier Division?
Oh, no.
Pat Hubin.
Okay, how many minutes per quarter are there in an NBA game?
12.
Correct. Where will the 2023 Rugby World Cup take place?
France.
Who won the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble in WWE?
Oh, Irish girl. Can't think of her name.
What former NFL star featured in the Naked Gun movies?
OJ.
Correct. And what year did Ireland last qualify for the Football World Cup?
2002.
Who captained Limerick to their All-Ireland hurling success last year?
Wasn't
What
sure.
nationality is Marcelo Bielsa?
Argentinian.
Correct. Argentinian is correct.
Okay, well, I got accepted. Well done, Nathan.
Hannah.
By the way,
we let
can I just
ourselves down.
say-
Change the rules.
Football
It makes no
expert.
difference.
It's not Pat Hooban.
It is Pat Hubin.
Pat Hoban.
It's Hubin. Oh, it's Hubin. Okay, that was shambolic.
Mayo
done.
last won the Sam Maguire in 1951.
Oh,
Jessica
it's
Harrington
not like
was
we
the
can
last
talk about
Irish
that.
trainer to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Pat Hubin is the top scorer. 12 minutes per quarter is correct. France Rugby World Cup 2023. Becky Lynch is
no
the
Becky
2019 Royal Rumble winner. OJ was correct. Good knowledge of the murderer. 2002. In what year did Ireland last qualify for the Football World Cup? And Declan Hannon is the captain of
Russian.
I
Argentina.
think I beat you, Tommy. Yeah.
Well done, Nathan. Sorry, Tom.
Absolutely dominant performance.
Well, maybe you were. Yeah, you were. You thought you were.
Trying to screw me
I was
over
on
with a
negative
rules
numbers
change.
there for that.
Yeah, okay.
Unstoppable.
Okay,
Let's
now-
go back to the way it was
When
next
that
week.
when that hubbub dies down, it turns out that Nathan is the
Hubbub.
winner, and that is the biggest harbinger yet that we've had, that it will indeed be Mayo for Sam. That and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Did Kev get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to hold that up?
That was from 2013. Moles
Oh,
were
was
playing Sligo Rovers.
Oh, right.
Europa League.
There's no way he's doing that shit now.
Let's end this now. Mayo for League
I thought,
2019.
maybe it was a new thing.
Can we do King John round the next time?
Yeah, King John Round. Thanks very much.
It's
And thanks
one
very
thing
much
you don't know about.
to Ray and to Jason for sending in the questions. You can send them into Off the Wall Towers, Marconi House, Dig Lane, Dublin 2. We'll see you next week for the Croppy Quiz. Stay tuned for more sports goodness right after these.